hello, mortals, and welcome to another episode of Dice Ex Machina Season 2. This one called The Show Must Go On. I am your myth keeper, Riley Silverman, and joining me is my entire crew of champions. We haven't had everybody here together since episode 2 of the season. The world is bonkers these days, but I'm so excited to have everybody here, and I'm going to go around the horn and say hello to all of them and have them say hello to you. Let's start with Omega. Hello, Omega.
What's up? Hi. My name is Omega Jones, also known as the Critical Bard across all social media channels. And today I play Zendar, the, should we say our levels? Because some stuff has happened.
Yeah. Let's do that.
I am a Alchemist 7, Wizard 3. Yeah, you heard that. That's a lot of levels that we
Level
have
10.
been given because we got stuck in a place.
Yeah,
but yes.
To reflect the fact that they were all stuck in a labyrinth for hundreds of attempts. Well, do I have the number still? Because it was more... Technically, Lysandros should get a higher level because Lysandros died 31 times in the labyrinth, but...
Yeah, you know what? I think we are...
I don't think so.
Doing it that
it's
way.
not going to happen, but you should. I'm going to write a letter to whoever's in charge about that. Sorry, I cut you off, Omega. So yeah,
You're good.
Everyone level 10.
I was saying, yeah, that's me. I'm a half Gorgon artificer wizard who is devoted to Farika, goddess of affliction, medicine, poison, best goddess ever. Anybody who are feline and doesn't like Farika can, F off, honestly. That's me. Also, most importantly, the healer of the group. So,
I mean, Bards can heal.
You're correct. Can, but not the. That's me.
That's fair. Speaking of Bards, let's say hello to our friend Joy. Hi, Joy. How are you?
Hello. My name is Marifine, but my actual name is Joy. I'm now level 10, and I'm probably going to use spells and be like, what did I just do? Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
This is
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
For anyone.
What did I do? Yeah. Hey, that voice you just... Marvin, did you get anything cool as level 10?
I did. I got some spells that I'll remember them when we're fighting.
You also, we talked about this before, so you also get D10 on your Bardic Inspiration now. When you get
my Bard Inspiration has increased the D10.
Indeed.
But yeah, I remember doing spells that are more of my mindset of how I am as a human. I did like something that was like investigation. I was
Nice.
like, yes. I'll ask questions, so I'll build my unknown knowledge into the character.
I love it. I think it's great. And let's move on over to who's next on my screen. She's currently petting a kitty cat. Let's say hello to Ashlyn.
Hey everyone, I'm Ashlyn. I play Leonin. I almost said Leonin cleric. That is not right. I play a Leonin iconoclast, and that might not sound familiar. It's new in Theros, or it was new with Theros. Iconoclast. They don't need no god. They don't need anyone to follow because they follow their own heart, and that's what she does. And so that's her. She's a fighter. She's a badass, or a bad butt for the PG-13 people out there. And yeah, she's a rough and tough and tumbler. Oh, she's level 10. And for her level 10, I got an ability score improvement or feat. And so I went with a feat. I chose Centennial. So that'll be fun in combat. Sentinel. Yes, Sentinel.
Centennial. Stop.
I chose millennial, and I am over this. As a millennial, I can say that I'm an elder millennial.
The thing. We'll see what happens with that one in combat. We're gonna move on now.
Are we? I thought we were gonna talk about this all night. All right.
I meant my other skills, but we can go. Ninth level, I got Indomitable.
Ooh.
So I can use what can I do? Oh, I can reroll my saving throws. So that's fun. And I also got Hold the Line. So at 10th level, I become a master of locking down my enemies. Creatures provoke an opportunity attack from me if they try to run away. So that's great.
So basically, Callie can always attack somebody somehow. That's basically what we're at now at this point.
She's living her best life.
She is, and everybody else's worst life.
Yes.
All right, y'all. And also, last but not least, let's say hello to Jordan.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jordan, and I am playing Lysandros, who is a satyr who has an on-again, off-again relationship with Phoenix because they're just kind of a natural fit. They're tricksters. And he is what I just had the phrase. He is an arcane trickster, right? So he has illusions and stuff like that. And he's a gambler. And for a while, he was immortal or thought he was immortal. And now he's not. So he's figuring that out. And now that he's level 10, he did get to die a bunch, more than everyone else last time, which I think he considers something of an achievement because he's now lived more and died more than anyone else on the team.
It's certainly something.
But getting to level 10, I picked up a bunch of new spells and fun little tricks, which I guess those will come. My sneak attack is 5d6 now, which is just an enormous amount of damage that could potentially be on like almost every attack I do.
This whole show's going to be you counting dice.
I know, right?
Pebbles are going to hurt.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then I also got up the ability Magical Ambush, which is that if someone cannot see me and I cast a spell on them, they get disadvantage on the saving throws on those spells.
That's brutal.
Yeah, so hopefully I'll be able to use that to make my illusions better and stuff.
Well, that feels like it should be everybody, but I think maybe something's off. We have somebody else here. We had a bit of a tech problem, so we don't have video of this person, but we definitely have audio of who's that coming in from the great beyond.
Why is all of your hair weird? You all have weird hair.
You don't even have hair. You're a voice.
I know. Your hair is like so good. I can't deal with it.
I just watched it. Everybody, it's Danielle Radford. Our D is back tonight.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. My computer is like not with all of you, but also.
I thought you were saying you're sorry for being back. I'm like, wow, that's early in the show for that.
But yes, I'm so sorry. Also, my cats are like being very needy right now. I apologize for literally everything that's happening right now.
Ashlynn's cat is literally on camera, so I think you're okay. And for D, because I did not want to throw multiple level, because last time Danielle played D, she was a level 6 bard. So going from level 6 to 10 today is a bit rough on someone for spells. So we've actually reworked D into a rogue for this appearance so that she can just have fun and roll dice and not have to worry about every spell that she possibly can learn in one day. So D is a rogue now. Hey, that works out good. All right.
Rogue D, suck my. Sorry.
Well, it's been nice having Danielle here, and let's be fair. I'm pretty sure D was always a rogue. Like I think that's probably not an unfair sentiment. But yeah, we do have Danielle here, which is great. So we'll find out what D's involvement with the group is tonight in just a moment. I did not divide up announcements earlier tonight because we were doing tech stuff problems, so I'm going to get through these myself real quick. We are aiming for a $250 episode goal. If we hit that goal each night, it allows us to continue to pay our amazing cast and cast all over the channel, and we can keep content like this on the air, keep the channel afloat. So even if you can't afford to back us, please still spread the word. Tell your friends and family to watch the shows and support them, because then maybe they can support us or somebody else can. Also, we just like to see lovely faces in our chat, so that's cool. Also, as a bonus incentive, we hit that $250 goal tonight. We will unlock a live pool from an active Magic the Gathering deck from Arena, and I will use at least one of the cards in the adventure moving forward. We've done it before. We have some pretty big. Yeah, exactly.
Like hard, like really
A lot.
murderous.
I'll make more gods appear. I will pull this car over and bring gods out. I will do it.
Absolutely not.
But also, a tip of just $15 will allow you to send us a message, which will read live on the air tonight. We're calling it a message from the gods. You can send us a goofy or heartfelt message, PG-13 rated, please, and you can crush our fundraising goals at the same time. So send us all your messages, and we'll be happy to read them out loud. We'll raise a toast. It'll be fantastic. I'm watching you, Jake. I'm watching you. With wherewithal.
Yeah.
Some fun with us last week.
Found out.
I found out.
With wherewithal as effing and finding out.
Hey, Bag of Takeout just rated us. Thank you, Bag of Takeout, for rating us. Thank you.
Hey, welcome everybody.
This season is sponsored by Roll20 and Hero Forge. Thank you to both of them for supporting us. Roll20 gives you the feel of virtual tabletop. Gives you the feel of a tabletop virtually. You get access to great maps, tokens, sound effects, dynamic lighting, and more. Use ! Roll20 in chat for more info, and type ! Hero Forge in chat to check out the wonderful customization tools they've created. We also have a great partnership with Die Hard Dice. You can save 10% at Die Hard Dice by using the code ROLLDICE at checkout. Use command DH Dice in chat for links and info, and you can order our friend Critical Bard's dice set as well and support them, which is delightful. That's right. That's them right there.
Hey.
And hey, if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you do us a solid, leave us a like, comment, subscribe, and smash that bell. We really appreciate it. It helps the show and the channel as a whole. And finally, we are starting to do a lot more with Coffee as our main way of getting subscriptions from our audience. Coffee is great. If you use the !Coffee code in the chat, check it out. Basically, on Coffee, you get the best of both worlds. You get the ability to tip to the show as you would regularly, but you also can become a member of our Exploration Society like you would through Patreon with a monthly amount. So you can get your rewards, you can affect the show, and you can become a monthly subscriber as well. And you can unlock things on the show and your toasts as well. Plus, because Coffee doesn't take a cut, you also get nearly 100% of your tip goes right to us after PayPal fees. And with that out of the way, I'm going to take a deep breath, and we're going to start the adventure. Y'all ready?
Bum, bum, bum.
The show must go on.
Bum, 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 bum.
When we last left our adventurers, they had just escaped from the intricately planned, very, very dangerous, death-defying labyrinth of the Minotaurs, and they had earned their first of the primordial weapons that they needed in order to defeat the Archon menace, as it were. And so standing in front of, we're going to do a real quick moment here, then we're going to skip ahead a little bit. In front of them is an axe. It is a gigantic axe. It is one that looks like it might be wielded by a giant, and maybe might be hard for a person to carry, but with attunement suddenly becomes very easy for someone. So one of you will choose to attune yourselves to this axe, and it is called the Godsbane axe. And would one of you like to volunteer to read briefly the description of the Godsbane axe? You don't need to read the entire thing, just maybe like the flavor text for it.
I can do
Ashlyn
it.
will. Yay.
All right. The Godsbane axe, an axe forged from enchanted ice on the plain of Kalheim. Arriving in Theros somehow during the primordial chaos of time before history, this axe is covered in a layer of permafrost.
Yes, it's a very fun axe. You get a +1 bonus to attack. It is also for attack and damage dice. It is sized for a giant, so it weighs 325 pounds. But like I said, it won't be, for whoever is attuned, you won't have to deal with that. But it'll be very fun and animated to have the giant axe running around. And it deals 3d12 slashing damage on a hit, plus an extra 2d12 slashing damage if the target is an Archon god, Planeswalker, or Demigod. The axe does shed light as a torch when temperature drops below 0 Fahrenheit, which probably won't be super effective in this campaign in the very tropical world of Theros. Maybe, we'll see. And as an action, you can cast a version of the heat metal spell, but does cold damage instead of fire damage. So for those of you who are big D&D nerds, you might know that I based this axe on Gert's Great Axe from the Storm King's Thunder campaign, but tweaked it a little bit to make more sense for what we're doing here in Theros.
Riley, adding Kaldheim into things. Your
I
magic
know.
lore grows
Thank
all
you.
the time.
Thank you. I thought the two of you would be very pleased that I added some magic to my magic.
Also, I think we should very quickly acknowledge a very generous tip by Vampire54.
Oh, wow.
Thank you so much for all your support of the show.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Really
thank you so
awesome.
much. we just made our goal for the night. Thank you so much, Vampire 54.
Dom, looks like you might need to do that MTG Arena update after all. So
Yeah.
Vampire 54, what the everlasting fuck?
Thank you.
Thank you
Vampire.
so much.
Thank you.
Big heart.
This is amazing. It's because Dee's back. That's what it is.
Guess who's
we're
back
all
in the
back.
house?
I want to see if we have some fun. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to find out what that toast is going to be.
Also, Riley, you don't need to answer out loud, but I sent a message in Slack because I'm just laughing.
Okay.
But anyway, continue.
Wait, is there a message in Slack? Okay.
No. No, not for y'all.
Private message.
I'm sending back a pair of eyeballs looking to the left.
You know, Vampire 54, you could have doled that out in 16 different toasts and just made us say stuff all night.
You know what? Yeah, no, the whole show becomes us just eating
Don't-
toast. With Vampire 54.
Don't tell them they could have done it in different toasts.
Give
Give us toast now. Give us toast now.
If Vampire 54 wants to give us that many toasts, I will stay late myself and read them off while y'all can go to bed because that will do it. All right. So that's. Is there anything that y'all want to take care of while you're still in the Minotaur City?
Not well. Ting Tang. Well, I would like to just go to a some kind of market and just restock on supplies like paper and ink and vials and stuff, just to make sure I'm set.
Yeah, I will say that I'll let you do that. That is, you have plenty of time to do that. I think they're happy. They're excited that you actually fulfilled the labyrinth because it rarely happens. So most people don't undertake it, let alone succeed on it. So I think that I'll let you just have those. That's fine.
Okay, cool. One other thing, not to take up time. One other thing I would specifically like to do while I'm here is just before we go, if there's like a I'm about to say magician, but if there's like a wizard or like a magic place or something, to get two things. One, to get some requirements for scrolls, for spell scrolls.
Mm-hmm.
Two, and just to see if they have any spells that I could copy down, just so I can just add to my repertoire of spells, because I'm also a wizard and I need to learn things, and I learn them in the form of recipes. So just seeing if any people out there who I can get a spell or two or learn a spell or two from.
Yeah. Because this was like a temple that was a little bit dedicated to knowledge and things like that, I will say that you are able to find two spells. We can talk about that more in downtime in between sessions.
Okay.
But I will say that because of what because of where we're at, I think that you probably are going to be able to get mostly. I'm gonna say. I'll let you pick what spells. I was gonna give you schools of magic you had to go through, but yeah, I'll let you have two. You haven't taken a lot of new spells lately, so I'll definitely let you take a couple more spells.
We just got another tip.
Are you?
This is a good night, y'all. We're having a good night. Oh, it's 54 after Vampire 54. That's kind of delightful.
With wherewithal.
Oh, well, you know, both Vampire 54 and with wherewithal just gave us toasts. So, and big tips. So I think we will go ahead and resolve their toast before we move the story forward. So that's a good way to do it. But yeah, but Zindari can take the spells and components that are needed. That's definitely, I think, very doable.
I think it's fair. I think it's fair to say before we leave, maybe we have a round of drinks at the finest bar and celebrate our victory at this labyrinth.
We have a round of drinks at the Barros Tavern. It's called the Barros Legion. Yeah, and everyone drinks that. There's like souvenir metal tips for horns, so you can do shots out of. Like
you drink out of that for little shots.
Ironically, non-alcoholic shots, given who they're named after. So Vampire 54 says, so I was going to do this last week, but you were doing a special. So my birthday gift to myself and several others recent birthdays. Enjoy the upcoming Doom. So I hope you adventurers have fun storming the castle.
Yay!
with
Doom it
wherewithal
up.
says, well, this toast is Vampire 54. You are awesome. I cannot wait to see what cards you are going to inflict upon the players. So thank you both very much for your generosity. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you both for all your support of the show. It's been very appreciated.
As someone who is one of those recent birthdays, I don't want Doom. So please.
So you find yourselves in hell. No, all right. So you find yourself. We find ourselves now moving forward to. Oh, who's taking the axe?
The one that makes sense to take the axe.
So
I agree with that.
Yes, not me.
It's Lysandros.
No, not Lysandros.
I mean, look,
either.
I assumed it would be Callie, but I didn't want to make that decision for your party. So
Imagine Lysandros just
say-
like dragging an axe behind him all the time, though, being like,
Me.
"Yeah, nope, I got this."
I will. Yeah.
Sneak
I'll
attack.
I'll let you decide if the axe stays gigantic all the time or just when being used in combat. But I do like the idea of Callie having this gigantic giant axe that.
Oh, she drags it all around.
Oh, great!
It's
not.
great.
It's not heavy for her. But
No,
it's so
but
fun
she likes to look
just
like
have
it is.
Yeah, she loves it. Yeah, it was funny because Ashlyn was like, "I need to find a way to get a magical item for Callie." I'm like, "You might not need to worry about it." It was kind of a whole quest about it. So we fast forward a little bit after a little bit of travel. Also, I will say that Marfine, you did ask around for those minotaurs that you were looking for, but you could not find information about them in that town. They seemed a little bit more brutish than what the town was offering up. Now we find ourselves in Akros, which, for non-familiar with Theros, Akros is essentially the Sparta of Theros. The party has received a strange summons from an old friend. It's Dee. And now you find yourselves, confusingly for some of you who knew Dee beforehand, you are sitting in what is essentially the throne room of the royal family of Akros. And Dee is there, as well as an older woman whose name is Taranika. She is the regent currently of Akros. And her son, Saren, is also there.
Oh.
And he is holding hands with a young man named Jay.
Oh my god, hi.
Okay, but before we get too far into this conversation, I just want to check. You are the real Dee, right? Because I have been fooled before somewhat recently.
Wait, what? That sounds terrible. Yeah, no, I'm D. Like, there's a fake D? That's
Well,
To be fair, when we saw the D's face, it was pretty clear that they were not D.
Also, to be fair, I am really famous, so of course there would be someone pretending to be me. I am like super famous.
I guess when you put it like that, they weren't pretending to be you. We saw them from a distance and thought that they looked a lot like you. And then when we
I am super famous, so it would make sense for someone to pretend to be me.
Yeah, no, you're right. That's
Don't
exactly
know
what
what's
was
going on.
I
okay.
remember someone mentioning a D, and it was the one that stole my stuff, which is how I got here.
Well, it turns out that wasn't the real D. Marfine, this is the real D. Zindar, this is the real D. We used to go on adventures and stuff.
How are you? Hello, it's so good to see you again.
Oh my gosh, so
Also, I'm like so famous that people pretend to be me sometimes. It's wild.
I've never heard of you, but if you're famous, that's cool.
Yeah, like I'm super famous. It's totally fine. Hi.
Have I ever heard of D?
So-
Now I want to know how famous she is.
No one's ever
Roll
heard
a history. Yeah. I was gonna have you roll a history check, but you have not heard of D.
Yeah, no one's ever heard of D.
So
Yeah.
I didn't
so,
think so.
So Lysandros wants to kind of like bound over to D and kind of like get close and kind of whisper in her ear and just be like,
As
Hey.
you do that, the guards that are there in the throne room both like put blades up like to stop you at first, like they think you're charging after a member of the royal family.
well,
there.
So here's a whole thing that I didn't tell y'all before. I'm so sorry. So my family is royalty or whatever. I should have told you. I'm so sorry.
So Lysandros turns and looks at like some of the tapestries or things, and says like, "Oh wow, these are some beautiful tapestries you have there. Are these tapestries real, or could it be that you're trying to get these tapestries redone by a professional?" And what he's actually doing is in Thieves' Cant saying to D, "Hey, are you scamming these people? Do we need to play along with anything?"
And then D talks back in Thieves' Cant, but like actually just like in regular words. No. This is just like my dad's stuff. Just my dad's stuff.
And then there's the man who was holding hands with Saren, the regent's son, who looks a lot like Dee. Some might say like her brother, because that's who he is. He says like, this is my husband's home. This is sort of.
And then Dee says, maybe my husband's home.
Who's the person who looks like you but not you? Person.
Are you talking to me or my sister?
I'm talking to your sister. That's your brother?
Whatever. Sure.
You found him.
Well, I mean, I found her. I found her.
I found her, man.
Okay, you can't keep doing this every time I talk. We've
Yes,
been over the.
you can't keep doing it every time I talk. It's fine.
I'm very confused, but I think this might just be something I don't need to know. Are you helping us with the next part of our quest?
Well, that's actually why I think Dee thought to reach out to you. And then the woman, Taranika, who is the regent, she says, "Yes, my son and his partner heard about your exploits, saving the town of Neolanton, and then word traveled to us that a similar group managed to best the Minotaur Labyrinth, and word travels fast that you're seeking the weapons of the primordial weapons. So we may have a line on one of those, and Dee thought that maybe you could help us with our problem."
Yeah, hi, hello. Obviously, I want to help you in whatever way I can, even though this one is being a total pill. Whatever, it's fine. This one's being a total pill, but
I'm just here. I didn't do anything.
You did a lot, but it's totally fine. And so I think that y'all are really good at being like together and being champions for stuff. And so I want nothing more than to help you get all of the weapons that you deserve. And also, I missed your faces. Holy crap. Hi.
Aw, we missed you too.
I missed your face. But also, we do have to help you find the weapons and stuff. But also, I missed your face.
Right. I do. Jay chimes in. I do think that Dee is bearing the lead like a lot, like to where I don't think she knows what the lead is at this point. So I'm just gonna put a little out there. All right, it's gonna get real old if you keep doing it. I just. He like starts to talk and then stops a few times and waits to see if she'll do it. Well, I don't know how much you know about local politics or gossip, but the king, Enax, is dead, and his wife, Queen Siamede, is missing. So my mother-in-law, Queen Taranika, she's the regent, and Taranika nods and waves. And the citizens of Akros are all about might and strength, and so there's already a bit of turmoil in the missing monarch, and also I believe because of your actions, the Gorgon, the leader of the sort of underground, no longer is it as powerful as sort of the underground leader. And it sort of came to the attention of people here that she had been fixing some of the Iroan games.
Fixing is like a very broad term.
Right, she was hiring people like my sister to fight in the games and paying people to lose, and she
definitely did that.
She has a lot less power now because Dee and I accidentally scammed her out of an enormous amount of money.
Yes, that's so once the people found out what she was doing, they kind of lost faith in the glory of Akros. So Dee had a plan to fix that, and it's not a good plan, but we don't really have any other options.
Not a good plan. It's a fine plan. Like, it's just, look, if everyone comes together and fights, then everything will be fine, and the people will like us again, and then you can all leave with your stuff, and then there will be
hey, the snake guy wants to talk.
It's I fight. We don't fight.
Not really fight.
All right, come on, Dee. Give it to us straight. What are we doing?
So, you know how I used to do that thing where I would like pretend to fight and people would pay shmoney. So we have set up, yeah, shmoney. We have set up a game so that people come in and fight like Galilators.
Gladiator.
Galilators. And so people would come and do Galilator stuff, and they would just hang out, and then they would get prizes and sometimes magical items, and just do the thing that they came here to do, and then no one would be murdered ever, Jay.
Oh, so you want us to be Galilators?
I guess that's yes.
And I'm sure that this time the games aren't rigged. Huh? Yeah, right?
Nod, wink, my friend. Nod. Wink.
What my sister is trying to say is
nod,
that
nod, wink, wink.
Nod, wink, wink. She thinks that if the people see a big glorious fight, they'll get excited and they'll get their blood running again, and that'll help everything out.
Okay. For there to be a big glorious fight, there has to be opponents who are equally as glorious, and I don't want to die anytime soon.
I mean, yeah, no one wants to die.
I mean, to be fair, we all just did die a bunch of times, and it wasn't that bad.
So you're experts at it. So that
It's
seems like it
not
would work
that
good.
bad. You're so good at dying and not dying. You're so good at not dying.
The thing is,
murdering, not dying.
the thing is, we don't really have a lot of like actual champions anymore because we've had like a lot of time where the Gorgon was paying people to like fake fight. So essentially it's a fake fight, but we're going to let the people think it's real so that they'll get excited, and then you'll get them excited, and then maybe we'll get new recruits that will want to sign up, and then it can be real fights again.
So we have to
not tonight,
fake real fight to get people to be excited about real fighting again.
We just
Well,
want
when
them to
you
like
say it
believe
like
in their
that-
city.
You want them to believe in your city, but it's based on a lie.
Look, I told you I didn't think it was a good idea. It's just the only idea we had, and B said you were all good at. I mean, if you want to fight for real, if you just want to kill a bunch of prisoners, like, I don't know why that would help
No,
you.
we shouldn't be killing. What?
Yeah,
I
that sounds awful, Jay.
Sorry.
Look, everybody.
I didn't mean to
Zendar just steps away to go find the restroom because his handler is also going to do the same.
Fair enough.
Look, everybody. Think about what Dee is saying here. I mean, sure, we'll be deceiving people, but we're deceiving people to make things better for everyone around here. And belief that is based on deceit, which is then backed up with real things, is just as effective as belief based on other things. Trust me, I've been doing stuff like this my entire life, and I've had a good amount of experience at it. If people, like, buy the narrative, they'll be in.
You just said so many words, and I loved all of them.
Oh, thanks, Dee.
Think of it less as deceit and more like showmanship, like a performance.
Mm-hmm.
You're a performer, right? And he motions to Marfine. You're a performer? Okay. I guess I don't know my audience.
Yeah, well, she comes and goes with the performance. But, look, guys, look how easy this sort of thing is. And Lysandros, like, jumps to the back and steps into a shadow. And when he steps out, he's back as, like, a big, beefy minotaur. And he's like, "Arr! I'm a big old fighter minotaur.
Yeah,
Everything is big and fighting."
Does this minotaur have the shadow of a satyr?
Definitely has the shadow of a satyr.
Okay.
And then he rubs. The minute you see the minotaur rubbing something in his greaves, and suddenly a troll appears across him and goes, "I'm gonna fight that troll with a minotaur." The troll makes no noise and has no troll smell or anything like that. But it's just a troll. And he goes, "Bah!" And when he decks the troll, its head just flies off. See? Ha! Let's all support Akros.
All the guards come running up looking for the blood that from when the head gets knocking off. And they're like, and I'm assuming it's fake, but they're like,
yes. And Lysandros pops back normal and goes, "Showmanship."
Okay, so this one's on board.
Jazz hands!
So
I have no idea what's going on, but I'm gonna go ahead and assume that I trust you.
Yeah.
Well,
you probably trust us.
Trusting us is bad.
Yeah.
Me and my husband.
Yeah.
Okay. Because we definitely didn't know what to do, so I'm assuming you are leading us in the right path, right?
Look,
these are my friends. I love my friends. I'm super into them. I'm just meeting you, and I like you. You're super cool. You're really cool.
Yeah, you can trust her. We're great friends.
Yeah, we're super cool. We're great friends. Also, you shouldn't trust anyone you just meet. I just think that no one has told you that, and someone should tell you that.
Yeah, that's why I'm a little skeptical, but you know them. So.
And Lysandros turns to Marfine, and we are
people I've been with.
Close enough.
Oh, Joy, take inspiration. Actually, both of you take inspiration.
Zendar comes back. All right, what have we figured out?
Literally nothing since you've been gone. It's totally fine.
Okay, cool. Then answer a different. I look at her brother. Answer a different question then.
Sure.
So you say you know where one of these weapon things are?
Yeah, we have it.
Are they all like? I think you have an animal in your space, and it's loud.
Yeah, there's lots of cats around here. We just love cats.
That's good to
We
hear.
do just love cats. Our kingdom is like cat heavy.
Is it like all literal like weapons?
I don't know about all of them. We do tend to be pretty militant here in Akros, so ours is a weapon.
Look, ours is a weapon. Our hearts are a weapon. Your brother is a weapon. My brother is a weapon. Everything is a weapon. But what we need you to do is go into that arena and fight your hearts out. Does that make sense?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, and then when we put up a bit of a show about it, the people on the other side will fall over, make a big show of that, and everything will be fine, right?
Uh-huh. Sure. Yep. That sounds good. That sounds great. You just do a thing and then everyone will pretend that you're very good at the thing. So just do that now.
But what if we can't like pretend we're good? Like
I mean, if you want to fight for real, you can, but you don't have to. We don't want you to die. We just wanted to.
But like the enemy
I'm
is
not
going
worried
to
about dying.
actually fight us, right?
The enemy, if my enemy is my enemy, is my friend, is my
No,
enemy, is
no,
my friend,
no,
is my friend, is my
no.
enemy, is my
Jay
friend.
Jay interrupts and goes, "No, everyone's on. Like, you're the faces, and then the enemies are the heels. So like everyone's working. They're all working together to make this kind of go.
So they're going to be fake fighting too. They're not going to like try to stab us and stuff.
Right, exactly. If they try to stab you for real, we'll take them out.
I'm
So.
going to silence. Oh, I don't have that spell. You're lucky.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, Omega, take inspiration.
So I still have inspiration from before, and I never used it.
Okay, well, you have one now for sure. And also, as a reminder, we do have one right now. Is one reroll for the table. We'll hopefully get some more at some point, but just want to let you know we have those as well.
Reroll, thank you.
Thank you, rerolls. And yeah, so are y'all doing this or are you not doing this? There's no one way or the other. I just want to know what's happening next.
And we'll get
Lysandros
a god
is in.
weapon.
The primordial weapons, yes, we will give you one of the godly weapons. Looks like you've already got one. That one looks pretty tough.
Yeah. She like stomps it on the ground. All right, fine, I'm doing this.
When you drop the giant axe, like all the like Lakoya around you are like, oh, it's fine.
Kelly,
fine.
I'm so sorry. You look so cute right now.
Thank you. Yeah, it's something to do with my hair.
It's
Yeah,
so wild.
After
I'm
it
so
all fell
sorry.
out. But yeah.
It's so good. I'm sorry. Yeah, so do the things, get in the arena, pretend you know, and then just win the whole thing and then get your weapons or whatever.
Well, then, and Lysandros kind of chums up towards D a little bit and pulls a couple coins out of his pocket and kind of slips them into D's hand. He goes, "It would be a shame if somebody placed a bet on us to win for that, right?"
Oh,
I try and win bets now.
Really?
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
It's been weird. It's way less fun.
But also, and then D opens up her hand.
What?
Give me the coins, weirdo.
Oh, yeah. And he gives the coins to D.
Because coin might be D might be royalty, but she still really loves money.
Oh, yeah.
What are the chances of you joining us, D? Some action, getting some in on some action again.
Well,
It'll be just like old times.
Oh, well, that sounds awful. So I
Okay,
won't
well, see you later.
join
Thanks for
you.
us, Danielle.
So I won't join you unless I have to. But I'm gonna watch because that sounds amazing.
All right.
Oh, okay. All right. So are we in? Are we doing the wrestling match essentially?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll cut then to y'all have been given kind of like costumes for like your armor is still your armor, whatever you're using, your protection is still there, but you've all been given like essentially like matching uniforms that you're wearing that kind of like establish you as these like champions. And do y'all have a fun team name you want to use? Does anyone have any ideas for a
Didn't
fun
we have
team?
a conversation about all matching and looking like friends and being a group, and we said no, and now all of a sudden we are matching and looking like we're a group?
Maybe.
It's just temporary.
I will say that D shows up and says, like, you should definitely match and look like a group. It sounds
I feel like if you
amazing.
said, they're all going to say no at that point.
No, I'm good.
Yeah. I feel like you're all taken to, it's almost like Hunger Games where you're taken to like a consultant who like gives you all like a thing. Like they all kind of they cast a glamour on you that gives you this kind of like vibe of like almost like the seeming spell where you've all been like given the vibe of having these costumes.
Yep.
What is the house animal of your family, D?
The house animal of my family is most definitely a cat. I'm sorry, Callie. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so
Yes.
sorry.
Why are you sorry? Cats are the best.
So yeah, everyone's costume has like this cool like standard of a cat, like somewhere like on the breastplate or some sort of like a banner or something along those lines.
And so D is, instead of being up like going to watch all of this as a person that is up in the stadium, D is like definitely down on the ground, like watching it there as a person.
Zindar goes to Lysandros and says, you use your contraption to like pulls back and it hits people and stuff.
Yeah, my sling.
Yeah. Is it like just a normal sling?
It's a little bit more than that. And Lysandros pulls it out, and you can see that it has has two birds on it. I found it as the eye patch on a dead person in a tomb that we were robbing. Well, we weren't robbing it. There was more to it than that. The important part is that I found out that when I hit people with rocks with it, I'm really good at bouncing them off and hitting other people with them too. And I think that it's magically augmented.
Okay. Well, I have a serum thing that if it wasn't already magically augmented, I could make it magically augmented. And if you basically shoot from it, another thing would automatically appear in it. But since yours is already magical, it's not going to work.
Well, that's a shame. But I don't know. Maybe, Callie, you don't have anything that like actually goes further than, when you can attack them close up, right?
I fight with my enemy in front of me.
Yeah, no, it was silly that I even asked. Marfine, I mean, you might have some. Do you have anything that?
It's really only for things that are like bows or slings or stuff like that.
I have daggers and instruments.
Oh my god.
Do you...
D recognizes that no one here actually has anything that will get them into being a play fighter, and D just like steps up and steps like behind everyone. Like goes like, y'all don't have anything that lets you play fight?
I just told you I have a sling.
I can make you disappear.
I can use my claws, and she undoes her claws, which are very sharp.
Everything you have is literally murderous. Okay, fine. I guess I'm playing.
Hey!
Less work
All right.
for us, I guess.
So you all are in this arena, and what happens is like the leaders sit down and I forgot I had their names. I just lost them. Where did they go? Oh, here we go. So Taranika sits down, the regions, and then her son and his husband, Jay, are sitting kind of like next to her, and she kind of does like a, and then the crowd, like there's like a loud like sound of horns blowing, and then the crowd starts to cheer as the town of Akros, the city of Akros, has like filtered into this arena, and they're cheering and they're yelling, and someone's selling drinks and stuff like that. So it's all happening, and there's a satyr somewhere speaking into a Stone of Far speech, broadcasting the events in color commentary and stuff. So it's all going on, and what happens first is two Leonin come out, and they're also dressed in matching outfits, but they're like not cool cats on theirs. Theirs are like they have like maybe like bulls or something, and they're kind of like cheering and shouting.
They've got like lame cats on theirs.
Yeah, they have like cats that like don't like belly scratches and stuff. So they've got like they're like kind of like the crowd starts booing them as they come out, and like they're just like kind of like doing the Therosian version of like giving them the middle finger and like stuff like that, and they're just like kind of like what are you gonna do about it? And then they come up to you, and then D, if you step out to where they are, they do like to D immediately they do a fake punch. So you get that like ghost punch essentially, and then the whole crowd boos. And now,
sorry. So D, the fake punch happens, and so then D obviously dodges the fake punch and then falls to the ground very dramatically, her legs sweeping up under her, and then looks at the pair and holds her mouth and is like, "Oh no, that sucks."
So then
consummate professional.
They start charging towards y'all. I'm going to do initiative checks now just to have an order of who's going to go win. But this isn't like a real fight. This is like a faked fight. So what we're going to do is like, essentially when it's on your turn, I'm going to have you tell me a thing that your character does as like play fighting. And then we'll figure out what a skill check would be for that. And then we'll roll and see how it goes. So let's start with Zindar. What was your check?
22.
Dang.
Wow.
Zindar's going first.
Wow.
I don't think we need Maze Zindar anymore. All right.
What was the check again? I'm sorry.
I need you to make an initiative.
Oh, right.
I got a 15.
Okay.
I got a 12.
I got 11.
Okay. You said you got a 12, Lysandros? Oh, wait, I had you one twice. Okay. All right. Let's get rid of the other one. Let me add. Oh, I don't have a D anymore because we're on a different.
I rolled it twice again, as always.
That's okay.
Yo, I do that all the time.
I was like, where is it? Click it and then click it again. I'm like, oh my gosh. But we can literally go with the first one.
Yeah, your first one rocks, so take that.
Yeah, we'll give you the first one. That was the first one you rolled. Okay. Callie, what was yours again?
15.
Okay, I had that right. And then D, what's yours?
11.
11.
I know.
Okay. All right, so we'll go to the same order. So Zindar, you are first. So these Leonin have just fake punched your friend D, and now they are coming at you. And like, what are you gonna do? Is like your fighting move, your wrestling move, essentially.
Yeah, I asked the wrong person to do this.
Well, I mean, then like, how would Zindar like not doing it well? Like, what would Zindar do trying to do something?
So we know that we don't want to hurt them, but there has to be an element of reality for it to look real. Mm-hmm. So he reaches in his bag and tosses down a vial of this brownish gray swirling liquid, and it spreads out all across. He just casts grease where they're running.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff we're talking about. That's great.
He's like, this. Okay. And he points to it.
Yeah, so they see the grease, and they accurately. Like they pick up what you're dropping. I mean, not literally because it's grease, but they see what you dropped and they do like wild like steps on it, like and like slip, and like one of them falls, and the other one like tries to help the other one up, and he falls. So it's like a whole thing that happens with it.
And then like Zindar almost like immediately gets on the ground and starts trying to put some of the grease back into the vial. He goes,
Because why would you waste it?
I gotta save some of this. Sorry, but he makes it. But no, he doesn't. He has only a +1 to his performance. He like attempts to make it seem like he tripped on his own grease, but he's going to be down there trying to get some of it back. He's not going to get anything, but he's just going to be like, okay. That's his turn.
Okay, great. Now it's going to be Marafine's turn. What does Marafine do, Joy?
Well, since I don't really have much to pretend, I'm just going to do my go-to and cloak myself.
Okay.
Oh, here I am. I'm now gone. Since I have daggers.
Okay, when you cloak, the crowd is like, like it's like a special effect happened, like the way like if someone held up a flash cube at something and like, oh my gosh, and like and you hear somebody announcing and like, like one of the champions is visible, and like that kind of thing happens. So they're real excited about that. And then at this point, I think what happens is like you have gone invisible, and then one of those Leonin goes to punch where you were, but like hopefully you haven't moved because he does like a punch as if, and like you feel the wind of his fist like go by your face, but doesn't actually hit you. And then he like goes like confused, like he doesn't know what's happening, and the crowd goes wild for that too because he's like they think you just vanished completely. All right, Callie, it's your move. What's up?
All right, Callie's gonna look at one of the Leonin, and I guess what she'll do is, what is her? Oh, it's a bonus action. Cool. Yeah, she'll save that for a finale. Yeah, she'll walk up to one of them, and actually, she'll try to be fancy and go to like do a jump on one of them, like a jump punch, but like try not to hit them when she does it.
Okay.
Try what?
Try
what?
Not to hit them.
Make a unarmed strike attack roll for me.
There we go. Because like she sparred a lot.
She's also Callie.
That was a 19.
Okay,
Yep.
I think it was a 19. I'm going to say that you have the ability to control your punch. So,
Yay.
If you don't want to hit them, you have not hit them.
All right. Yeah. So she like jumps up, like all fiercely looking, and just kind of like, but like misses them, grazes their cheek.
Great. Now let's go to Lysandros. What's your move?
Lysandros turn like stands out and looks at the audience, and yells out to the audience, and he goes, "By the power of Akros, I summon thee!" And he holds up his hand and like does a whole like fake magic element to everything. And he does a silent image of what appears to be like a flaming morning star with two heads that are going. He's like, ha, 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 ha. And then he goes to one of them and swings it at them. And as he starts to swing it, he goes, "Roll with this." And just swings the illusion mace at one of the people.
Nice. Yeah, I think make a performance check for me.
Okay.
Does Callie have to make a save? Because I feel like she would have landed in the oil.
I would say not, because Zindar cleaned up the oil that was there.
Okay.
I got a 26 on my
If
performance
Zindar
check.
hadn't cleaned it up, I would have made you take the save. But because Zindar was like scooping it back in the bottle, I think enough is gone that you're okay. Because that was a funny choice that Omega made, so I wanted to let it have an effect. What'd you get, Lysandros?
I got a 26.
Okay, yeah. So the mace, it looks like it's banging them a bunch and like hitting them a bunch, and like if you want it to seem like they're getting like really beat up by it, like almost like a version of like hitting with a breakaway chair and stuff, you can. And the crowd, like one of them is down now, and the crowd is going wild for it. All right,
And then
sorry,
when it gets to the end of that spell's ability, he goes, "You've done enough for me, great mace of Akros," and then disappears it.
Great. And then we come to D. D, what is your move?
So D is like still getting up, but like, I kind of wish like if the grease was still there, she would have been doing kind of a slippery slope thing. D gets up, looks at the folks that are attacking them, and D says, "You will never defeat our team. These are my friends, and we're the best thing that ever happened ever." And then D, oh wow, D takes her dagger and stabs, but obviously stabs with the intent of stabbing right against someone's cheek, and not actually hitting them in the face.
So like almost like a fake stab.
Yeah, like a fake stab. So
okay, I
D
thought you
is
were
like,
gonna actually kill this person. I'm like, wait,
oh my god,
this
no!
is the plot twist that I wasn't expecting, but we'll see where it goes. Okay.
Like taking it and being like,
Okay.
a vast foul monster, and then
Gotcha. Okay, make a performance check for me. I want to see how well you're able to do this.
Oh no. Okay. Performance. Whoa, this is not. Hold on. Oh no. 12.
Okay. With a 12, I'm gonna say that you mostly did it, but you did graze like his cheek did cut open a little bit because you are using a dagger right by someone's face, so you do see like a big old like there's clerics, there's healers. This is gonna be fine, but he's definitely like, "Hey, where's the script?" And like,
oh my god, I'm so sorry.
And then he like growls at you, and then because he's actually injured, like he does actually get taken out pretty quickly. So that fight ends. For the sake of time, we got started a little bit late, so I'm gonna fast forward a little bit here. But essentially, rounds like this happen over and over again. There are different fighters that come in. You all do different things that are fun. There's lots of fun that happens. We're not going to see any of that, but no, there's lots of rounds like that. There's a pack of blink dogs that come at one point, and you have to like figure out how to like avoid them as they come through.
Lysandros, when the blink dog shows up, does a mirror image and has all four of him fighting different images of the blink dog.
Okay, love it. Yeah, so I think that's how those get taken down. Go ahead and mark off spell slots for that, and then eventually, as you've like been doing this for a while, the crowd's really going. Suddenly, Marifine, you notice 3 figures enter from the entranceway of the arena, and they are 3 minotaurs that look very familiar to you. These are the minotaurs that attacked your family, Marifine. And they're not wearing what appears to be like a group costume the way a lot of the other fighters were. They are in like marauder gear. They look like and then if you look at them closely, anybody can make a perception check. And I'll say that if you get, I'm not going to go down the list because for time, if you get over 12 on your perception check, they have real blood on them.
I got a 19.
Okay. Yeah,
I got a
19 as well.
Yeah. Callie, you and Zindar both you know what real blood looks like. These people have freshly bloodied outfits.
Do I have to do the perception as well?
You can if you want to. It's just if you want to see if you think you notice the blood or not. But you recognize them, so you do need. You got 15, so you notice it too. But you notice this immediately. These are the minotaurs that you have been looking for.
Am I still invisible? I am, aren't I?
You are. That's for an hour, I believe. So it's up to
you. How far are we away from each other?
They are across an arena. I do have the arena open in Roll20 if anyone wants to log into that. But
for some reason, I just see like a title screen.
Yeah, I see the title.
Oh, me too. You know what? I did not put the thing on. Thank you for telling me. I'm sorry.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah.
Sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry. I'm glad that I should have said something sooner. So
no
the
worries.
Leonins are off the map, and now there are 3 Minotaurs who
We need to get access to tokens.
Oh, you should. Hey Dom, can you make sure they have access to their tokens? They should already. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know why it's happening. I don't think I have one there for D. But it's okay. We're doing Theater of the Mind. Also, I think Danielle was having issues with internet connection anyway. So mostly Theater of the Mind, but we are sponsored by Roll20, so I want to utilize their service as we can. So at least the audience can see this cool map that we're using. This is actually an actual map from the Theros book. This is very fun. And if you use Roll20, if you buy the book for this world in Roll20, you can actually have all these maps available to you as well. So check that out. Yeah, so they are coming towards you, and you're getting the impression that these are not participants in this battle, that they are just like seeing an opportunity for some carnage and they're taking it. So I will keep all of your initiative orders, but they are going to get added to it as well.
Oh no!
I'm just going to roll once for all of them. Let me go ahead and look at it. All right. Okay, cool. They're on 11. So they are coming up after everybody else. So we'll start at the top again. We'll start with Zindar. And you see these guys, and you know based on that blood, you know something is suspicious about these y'all.
I don't know if he knows if suspicious or not, because he has a
that's your
0
call.
to insight. He knows it's blood, but like I don't want to like. Oh God. Okay. Yeah. It seems like they're like charging at us.
Yeah, they seem to be. They're not doing showmanshipy stuff. They're just kind of being thugs.
Okay.
One's like taking an axe, and one's like, "I heard there was a party and no one invited us."
Gotcha. Then Zindar will go. Yeah, there's a party, and we must defeat you. Rawr! Is that what you do? I don't know.
Lysander gives you a big thumbs up.
And one of them was like, "Not having us at a party is like having dough circles with no holes in them."
I don't know what that means, but I'm sure it's great. He's going to. Yeah, he wouldn't do anything else. He's going to just go forward. No, I mean, like he's going to go forward. I guess a couple of steps, and when they get close, he's going to cast. Yes, he's going to bring out a vial, and he has it readied. And whenever they get within 15 feet of me, I'm going to crush these vials and blow out, and a spell is going to go off.
Okay.
So that's me. But I will say, I will like whisper, "Don't get in front of me. None of you. Just don't do it."
Noted.
Dee's an idiot, so she totally got in front of you.
Danielle, take inspiration.
Jesus.
Dee's really an idiot. I'm sorry.
Feel free to hurt her. Don't feel bad about it.
No.
That's a choice she made for herself.
That's what she made for herself.
Is that your turn, Zindar? Okay. Marfine, it is now your turn. You have seen these Minotaur. You recognize them. What do you do?
And I'm still invisible at the moment.
I'm going to mark you so I can remember that myself.
You know, I have an idea, and it's going to be doing nothing. Because I do recognize who they are. I don't know what to do. Or I'm just frozen because it's like it finally have found the people that she's been looking for. So I'm literally frozen, invisible. Just in a state of shock. So I guess guard. I don't know. Like, do I have to do like an action, or is that enough?
You could do the dodge action, which means that if someone tries to attack you, they have disadvantage. But you're also invisible, so that's a really matter. So yeah, if you want, one option you could do is to hold an action. You can say like, if this happens, I will do this. So like if they get close to you, you'll attack or something like that. But if you think she's just like frozen in like doubt, then that's fine too. You could.
Yeah, I think frozen in doubt will probably be the best option for like the situation.
Okay, that's realistic. So I will let you do that. And yeah, you don't have to do anything on your turn if you don't want to. Yeah, if you already have inspiration, or else I would give it to that because that's an interesting character choice. But I will go. I will do that. Next, we go to Callie. Callie, do you think that Callie is... Ashley, do you think Callie's figured out this is an actual threat? I think Callie has that kind of sense.
I mean, Callie, like, gets into a lot of fights. Like, that's how she solves all her problems in life. Or at least tries to. So, I mean, I think she'd pick up at least that, like, this is, like, gonna be a good fight. She doesn't know anything about these Minotaurs, like, at all. So she might be like, D... are they scripted? Oh my cat just jumped on my lap. What's
tie? Oh my god, I'm so sleepy. Tie.
Okay, all right.
I'm so tie. Oh my god.
D is the worst.
Is this Xander? Is this Xandar's spell?
No, I think it's just D being D.
Oh my god, I'm so sleepy.
We haven't seen what Zendar's spell does yet.
But D does mark with her foot, like she kind of taps Callie on the ankle and goes, and then like looks at her and like does the biggest, loudest. A facial expression can't be loud, but she does the biggest, loudest facial expression of a wink that you've ever seen. She might as well have yelled wink.
Okay.
I'm not sure what that conveys to Callie.
Because D's an idiot.
Okay, fair.
D, I don't know. D, I don't know what's going on, but God, all right. And she's gonna pull out her axe.
Okay.
But not her Godsbane yet. She's just gonna test the waters because she's not sure.
Okay.
And yeah. Well, actually, I don't think I have my other one equipped anymore, so I don't have an option. I don't know what the attack damage would be for the other stuff.
Okay.
So while you're figuring that out, I think D looks around and realizes that she did not hire these dudes.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll have you resolve what that means for D when it comes to your turn.
Yeah.
So Callie, do you have an idea of what you're gonna do?
Yeah. So Callie she's not gonna get farther than what Zendar said. So she's just gonna kind of stay in line with Zendar and wait and hold her action until he's done with what he does. Okay. And then once they get within 5 feet of her, she will take a bunch of actions.
Okay.
Including her attack, but she has a lot of reactions when things get in 5 feet of her.
Gotcha. Lysandra, it's your turn.
So Lysandros has no idea that these guys aren't faking it. He's just caught up in the showmanship of it all. I rolled a 4 on my perception check.
Okay.
He sees these Minotaurs coming charging at him, and he steps right in front of one of them. And is like, "Villains, I fear thee not." And then he makes like an earthbending pose from Avatar: The Last Airbender sort of thing. Goes, "Earth, guy, aid me!" And he's going to use a minor illusion to make it seem as though a wall of stone erupts in front of him.
The Minotaur is very confused and like looks at the stone and doesn't know what to do. And it's now the Minotaur's turn. So that Minotaur is going to swing his axe at that wall of stone. Does it go right through it, or does it?
It does. It definitely does.
Okay. So it's going to make an attack on you. Let's go ahead and just have that great axe attack go for you. I'm going to do a disadvantage because he is attacking through what seems like a wall. So a 10 doesn't hit you, does it?
Sure doesn't.
Okay, so yeah, you feel the wind of the axe because he can't see you, so he does a swing, but it like goes like right above, like almost clips your horns, but doesn't quite.
Yeah, so Lysandro's kind of like limbo's back a little bit from the thing and goes, and he kind of goes, "Hey man, play along with the wall. That thing was cool."
And then Minotaur goes, "I don't play." And then,
Fine, I guess I'll have to do all the work for both of us.
And then that's his turn. The other ones start moving forward, and then let me know, Zindar, when does he get into the range of what you're doing?
15 feet.
I think 15 feet. So I'll
Sorry,
put him
15
in,
feet. Yep.
Yeah. So he's charging towards the group, and he is now 15 feet in front of you.
Is the other one there as well, or is it just
Yeah,
him?
why not? Why not? Yeah, that one's there too.
Cool. Because what happens then is, as I crush the bottles and I blow out, there's like a bunch of blue and purple and greens and oranges all flourish and invade these people's spaces as I cast color spray. I'm gonna roll 6d10.
Okay.
The total is how many hit points the creatures the spell can affect. I don't know how many hit points they have. They might have more than 60. And if they does, this won't work, but that's fine. That's okay, great.
Wait, do they take?
They
don't
will not
take
take
anything?
any damage. This is not a damage spell.
Oh,
I just
okay.
rolled all 9s. Jesus, 27, 27, 37, 43, 53. Does anyone have 53 hit points or lower?
The one that is behind does.
He is instantly blinded.
Okay.
Nice.
And that's it.
Okay. So that one running just does something. Goes, "Hey boss, they got stuff. They got stuff that does stuff."
And I'll say, "Huzzah! We have done it. You can no longer see us, and we shall be victorious."
And then that one, the one who was the boss, comes running forward towards you because he didn't get stopped by anything, and he is going to take a swing at you. Now, Callie, does your sentinel thing kick in here?
Yes, if he is within 5 feet.
He is. You're next to Zindar.
When a creature makes an attack against a target other than you, you can use a reaction to make a melee weapon attack against attacking creature.
Okay, so it gets an attack too, but you also get an attack. Okay.
I also have though. I have warding maneuver, so if it's hit by an attack, I can roll 1d8 as a reaction and add the number rolled to Zindar's AC. And if the attack still hits, Zindar gets resistance by that amount.
Okay, so you can only use one reaction, so you're going to choose that instead of your sentinel reaction?
I'll probably use warding maneuver. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, go ahead and do that then. So tell me what Zindar's new AC is going to be, because it's goring. It's going to go for.
I hit an 8.
Okay, so
nice. So now it's at 24.
Okay, it got an 18, so it misses you. So it comes at you, but you realize that would have hit you really hard. But this maneuver, essentially what Callie did was, I'll say, like, this cat leaps forward and kind of it very much olays the car. You can tell by the speed it's going, it would have hit you very hard if she hadn't done that.
Like, not so fast! Oh my god!
That looked really real. Wow, they're really good at this.
I don't think they're playing.
Wait, what?
I don't think they're playing.
But then why are they here if they're not playing? Oh.
And then when you say that, the announcers go, "Wait, they've been playing?"
Oh shoot!
And one of the other announcers goes, "They've been faking it." And
no, we haven't.
They've been faking this whole thing. And then suddenly, the arena starts to boo and shout and scream, and they're all putting their thumbs down. They're all booing. They're all angry. And when that happens, y'all hear a crackling sound. And the sky over the arena, and this is like this pure rage of this crowd, this embodiment of their disappointment, their feelings of dread and uncertainty towards their town, is like forming above, and this smoke starts to billow down into the arena, and it starts to take form. And the form it takes is this massive, huge monstrosity, this humanoid form, these like smoky forms that almost look like skeletons made out of smoke form together into this giant body. And I'm gonna drop an image into the roll 20.
I'm terrified. I am terrified.
Suddenly, the Minotaurs don't seem like nearly as much of a problem to you now, because instead, what is standing before you is a giant. It is what is known as a... Where did I put it? I had the name of it. It was so great. It is what's known as a Doom Wake giant.
Yeah. And also, oh no.
If enough mortals dread destruction for long enough, their terror can manifest as one of these massive Nyx-born beings. Once unleashed, a Doomwake giant goes on a rampage, fulfilling the prophecy mortals believed into being. This is just an image. This is not the... Yeah, that's it. That is what is now standing before you. This is, and you recognize it a little bit when you see it as being similar in nature to the elementals that you already fought, and you know as it appears that this is one of the archons that has been existing in this world and been wreaking havoc on it. You haven't had to fight one in a while because you've been a little busy trying to find weapons, but now another one has come to your doorstep and it is ready to fight you. And it appears, and this like face forms, and it looks at you. Does anybody speak giant?
Nope.
Okay, then what you all hear is, and if you spoke giant, we would lose our rating. All right.
Lysandros goes over to D real quick and goes, "Man, you really pulled out of the stops on this one." Oh, I'm just kidding. I know we're in serious trouble.
This is bad. D turns to the giant. She's not saying anything.
Okay.
She's literally saying nothing. She's like trying to razzle dazzle the giant while everyone else gets away.
Okay, well, Danielle, take inspiration for trying and failing that razzle the giant. Okay, that is what's happening now. So the giant appears, and we're on its initiative order. So it is going to exhale this gas, like this gust of wind comes out of its mouth, and I need everything in a 60-foot. So it's a 60-foot line that is 10 feet wide. So I'm gonna say that is going to be Callie, Zindar, and Marafine. And I'm going to say D as well. We didn't put it on the map, but I think D is in this group. I need all of you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, no.
Don't forget, we have rerolls, everyone.
Yes, use your reroll.
How many do we have?
You currently have 2. And I'm going to use this time to drop, we're at 9:30. I'm going to drop a toast that came to us for Vampire 54. This seems like a really appropriate... This seems like a really appropriate time for Vampire 54's toast, which is, we got the fake monsters, right? Nah, boss said too expensive. Said it was cheaper to get the real monsters.
Yes.
And I want to put that, by the way, they put that in there when the Minotaurs came in. This has been, they had no idea what was really coming.
That's great.
Oh, vampire, come on.
Can I take one of those rerolls?
Yes.
Please. I got a 21.
I rolled a 4, so I need a
no.
reroll.
I rolled a 22. Oh my god. This is like the best roll I've ever had.
Okay.
Nope. Nope.
No.
Nope. Nope.
Just not gonna save today.
Well, I doubt it. It's a big old giant. I got a 14, but something still tells me nope.
Yeah, the DC on this was an 18.
Yeah,
So everybody who failed, I think that might have just been Zindar. Everybody who failed takes 33 necrotic damage
Oof.
and is knocked prone.
Rip.
Everybody who passed will take half that damage and is not knocked prone.
Oh my.
Luckily, I don't need my movement like some melee people do, but nope.
Ooh, I definitely do. So that is for us melee. So that is it was 33, so I take a
So take 15. Take 16.
Yikes.
16 necrotic damage. And you're knocked prone. No, you save. So
You're
take
not,
16,
yeah.
you're not knocked prone. Okay.
Yoinks. Okay.
Yeah, real bad.
Bad.
And that's going to be its turn. So that is fun. And
scary.
now that's its turn. Now it's the Minotaurs. We already had their turn, so now we're not going to top the order. It is now Zindar's turn. We're top the order again.
Okay, cool beans. He will stand up or attempt to stand up and go, oh, okay, that's real. I don't like that. And I'm going to. Is that what I'm going to do? I believe that's what I'm going to do. Ooh.
That sounds so sexy. That sounds very sexy.
Oh yeah. Do I help y'all or do I get angry?
Get angry.
Yeah. Wait, does it do anything at that level? What? No. Why would I do? Oh no! I'm gonna do it at second level. Okay. I pull out this vial, and it has a small creature. Not even a creature, but like it has like the essence of something like silvery and purple, and it just seems weird. And he goes, "Hey, wait, do I need to get closer? I don't think I do. Do I need to get closer?
You are
Nope, I don't. Yay.
Okay,
I go,
no,
hey!
right now you're 55 feet away, 60 feet away from it.
And I'm going to uncork this vial and like try my best to toss it at it. It's a 90 feet, so I can.
Okay.
Toss it at it, and as it hits, it doesn't seem like it does anything, but it needs to make an intelligence saving throw.
Okay. Not too bad on the thing for it, but we'll see how that goes. Made an 18.
Oh, you butt meets beats. So it didn't do anything.
Okay. All right.
That's my DC is 18.
Sorry.
It's fine. I go, I'm still working on that one. Oh no. And as a bonus action, I don't really have good bonus action, so that's me.
Okay. Marifine, it is now your turn. You're still invisible, but you did take Marifine. What did you take for your did you save on that, the attack?
I saved my attack, yeah.
Yeah, you got an 18. Okay, so you did take you did beat it. You did meet its DC, so you are good, but you did take 16 damage. Did you mark that on your sheet?
16 damage? No, I didn't.
Okay, yeah, so you took 16.
Are we supposed to long rest?
Yeah, before this we were supposed to long rest at the end of last session.
Here,
so
I'll
go ahead,
reset.
go ahead, long rest. Then do the one thing too. I just noticed. I think you rolled a con check instead of a con save. Let me just double check and make sure it's not different because it might be the same anyway, so it won't matter. But if not, I'll add your difference and then we'll see what happened.
Okay.
View campaign. Sorry, Marifine.
Okay. Yeah, so what I'm going to do, because I'm still like I'm trying to snap out of the fact that these are the people I've been looking for.
Mhm.
So literally the only thing I can think of is beefing up people. So I want to use my bardic inspiration
Okay.
to make sure that everything is good. So then I have to like do a 10.
No, so basically you just pick. That's a bonus action. You pick a member of your party, and they get to roll a d10 on top of something else they roll in the next 10 minutes. I think it's skill checks or ability checks. So you just
Skill
pick
checks
someone.
okay.
Yeah, they roll the d10 themselves when it's their turn to use it.
Okay. Well then I want to check because I know that they're the person that can deal the most damage. I want to give it to Callie.
Okay.
For smart purposes.
Okay, that happens automatically. So what
Okay.
does Marifine do as a bard? Like, what are you doing to give her inspiration?
Let's see. We are going to do
It's just like a thing you say or a thing you do, just like something you like do to like make her feel inspired.
Say
this is role play, not mechanics. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I want to say to Callie, this is what I've been waiting for, and if you can help me take these people down, that would mean so much to me.
Okay. So for the next 10 minutes, Callie, you can add a d10 to one ability check, attack roll, or saving throw. You can make this after seeing the roll before I tell you what the outcome is.
Awesome. And yeah, that totally registers with Callie. She like her eyes widen. She's like, oh, these must be the Minotaurs.
Yeah. Now there is a massive smoke death monster also there.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Minotaurs are also important to your group. Yeah.
She checks that in the back of her head and she's like, okay, smoke monster.
Okay. So Marifine, you also have that was a bonus action. You had the ability to take an action, and you also can move if you want. And you are invisible, so if you want to move and get out of actually, make another con save for me real quick.
Con save?
Yeah, Constitution saving throw.
Constitution saving throw. Saving throw is somewhere.
It's so on the left you have so it's make a roll 320 plus 1.
320 plus 1. Is it not the one next to dexterity?
Yeah, it's so saving throws are the box below your abilities.
I got it.
So some of them had different scores in your regular ability checks. That's why. Okay, so you made it 3. When you got hit by that gas spray that did the damage to you, your invisibility spell dropped because that's a concentration spell.
Okay.
So you were no longer able to hold that spell.
Okay.
Invisibility is concentration, right? Am I right about that? Okay. Mm-hmm. Omega's nodding. So yeah, so you are no longer invisible.
No, I'm not. No. Every time I do something. Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna make you drop it for the inspiration, but because you took the damage, you there. So now you are able to. You can still take an action, so you can attack something, you can cast a spell, or you can move. You can move and do an action. So far, you've only done a bonus action.
My bonus action.
You did your bonus action to do bardic inspiration, but you can do an action. So you can cast a spell if you want to, or you can attack something.
Can I cure my wounds?
Yeah,
that's just a spell. Okay, yeah. Then I will do that.
Yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. So go ahead and roll the dice that are for your cure wounds, whatever level you're casting it at. So you rolled an 8, so you heal for 8 points. Great.
Okay, and then I will add that.
Cool. So you got that. Great. Yep. You're good. Cool. All right, Callie, it is your turn. You've been inspired. You know that something's going down. You also know that everybody in your party just took a bunch of damage and big monster. So yeah.
All right. She looks up at the giant honking monster. I'm assuming she's next to it.
Not yet. You are about 60 feet away from it, but you, I think you can make that if you dash.
Yes, but then I can't attack it.
Oh yeah.
But that's fine. That's fine. She will dash.
Okay.
Yeah. So yep. She's like, all right, let's see if this axe can do anything, and she'll dash. And act like she's dragging it behind her, but she doesn't weigh anything.
Okay.
Actually feels cool.
You are right in front of it now. Is there anything you can do in a bonus action?
I think so, actually. Let me see. I could probably actually just go ahead and use my action surge.
Yeah, that sounds good. By the way, when you go running towards it with the axe behind you, the crowd suddenly starts cheering, and now you all get the feeling the crowd thinks this is part of the show.
Good. And yeah, then I'll just yell, "You want a real fight? You'll get a real fight!" And I'll axe and surge as I yell that.
Okay.
And yeah, so now I'll attack it.
Okay, great.
And is it considered a or I guess you'll let me know if I get the bonus damage?
I said it was an Archon at the top of
great.
the when it appears. So yes,
Thank
you get your Archon attack for it. May have been on purpose. All right.
Oh no.
Do we have any rerolls left?
Do we have a reroll left? We have one.
I only used one, so you should.
Yeah, there's one left.
We had
also,
two.
I believe you got inspiration at one point too. But yeah, use a reroll first.
Okay. I almost want to save it in case someone else gets hit by another one of those attacks. So actually, I'm going to wait.
Well,
but I
we do sort of need you to hit this thing, though,
Okay,
right?
fine.
You could use your inspiration also.
Fine. 24.
It hits.
And then I have
if it didn't, we could all just go home. Let's be fair. But yeah, we're at home. But yeah, 24 hits.
All right, and then I get one more attack.
Okay, do your damage for the first attack first.
Okay.
Just so we can keep track of everything.
First attack. Oh, I love it. So many d12s. Plus an extra d12. Okay, so I have to do an extra 12 damage. Oh, did it already do that damage?
Nothing showed up on our end.
It says 16.
That's it? 16?
It says I rolled an 8 slashing. 1d12. It says 2 plus 5. So I don't know.
Wait, shouldn't you be rolling like 5 d12s or something?
Yeah, you need to roll 2 more d12 on that.
Okay. We'll roll 2 more.
I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, statistically, that's an improbable result.
Right.
that would require you to that's why I was like, I think that seems kind of low.
And another 10.
Yeah.
34 damage. Right back in your face.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage for it. So
all right, and then attack number 2.
Okay.
That is a 16. Does a 16 hit?
Does.
Oh, wait, then I get plus 1.
Well, the 16 hits, so 17 also hits, yes.
Yay. All right, more damage. I get to reroll my 2s. Oh, come on. So without the plus 12, that's a 25. And then I get to roll 2 more.
Okay.
25 plus 8. So 33?
Okay.
32?
Yeah, that did a lot of damage to it. It's not quite at bloodied yet, but it's you did a lot of damage to it.
And then I'll unwavering mark it as I do this. I don't think I can. It has a place to show the mark as I cut it, but I will definitely try to. One of
the strange soul skeleton beings has a mark on it now. So
Great.
We'll say that's there. And I'm gonna put a little. I thought I had a cool little claw mark that I used for your mark, and I don't see where it is now. I'll see this. Okay, cool. So I'll show that it's marked, and there we go. That is your turn. Is there anything else you can do on your turn?
So because I hit, I can't do anything else, but there are a couple things that happen to it because I'm a slasher. So its speed is reduced by 10 feet.
Okay.
And also there's one other thing about it not being able to, let me see, feats and traits. Born to the saddle, that's not it. No, not yet. If it tries to do anything else, I can mess it up. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah, keep an eye on those things, and if it does anything you're not worried about. Okay, cool. You did a lot of damage to this thing. You messed it up pretty good. Just so you know. Yeah.
Yeah, there's frost sprinkles happening and all sorts of things.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Great. And then now it's Lysandros' turn. Lysandros, what do you got?
Okay, so Lysandros is, I guess, still engaged with a Minotaur, right?
Yeah.
But what he's going to
attack a visible wall, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
Not visible.
Well, so what Lysandros is going to do is use his bonus action to just jump back and disengage from this Minotaur, and then he sees that Callie is doing the important part of the fight here. So I'm actually going to use my turn to try and do something to help her out.
Okay.
And what I want to try and do is use the spell Silent Image to make a copy of Callie step away from Callie. So there's at least a chance that if it tries to attack, it hits the illusion Callie instead.
Okay, so you're basically using that to invoke disadvantage on it as a help action. Okay, I like that.
Yeah,
so you're using the distract option basically.
Yeah, I figure that, if there's two Callies that are trying to, hit it and it goes to hit one, then it at least has, a 50% chance of hitting the incorrect one. So
yeah,
might as well be worth it.
Cool. I'm going to mark that he has an advantage now, so that way.
So, yeah, Lysandros jumps back and kind of rubs his palms together a little bit and says, "Keep your eyes on the kitty." And another Callie that's just kind of mirroring what Callie does steps a couple feet away from her.
Okay, and it's just and then yeah. Is that your turn?
And then, because I don't want to be that close to this Minotaur who seems to not be chill anymore, I am going to make a run for it. So I'll just go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So I'm getting closer to the giant.
Okay. All right. It is now the giant's turn, and it is going to keep an eye on the kitty, as it was just told to do, and it's going to make two. The giant gets to do a multi-attack, so it gets to make 2 slam attacks on Callie, but it's going to do it at disadvantage. So let's see here. Oh, great. So it's going to do that. The first one, the lower of the 2 is a 23, which I believe does hit you, right? What's your AC?
Why does it say my armor is 10 now? Oh, wait, hold on. I think it thinks I'm overweight carrying capacity.
Oh, because of the axe. We'll figure the axe.
It's 16 normally, so either way, it hits.
It hits you. So yeah, we'll have to make sure to change the weight of the axe. I'm
You're
sorry
good.
about that. All right, and then, all right, that is gonna do 16 bludgeoning damage to you.
Oh yeah.
And 15 necrotic damage to you.
Okay. Wait, so we got 16 and 15 damage?
Yeah. So 31 total. And then it's going to try it again.
On me or on the illusion, Callie?
It's got a disadvantage. So it does miss you the second time because the disadvantage was 14. So it doesn't know which one to hit, which is why it's rolling a disadvantage. But in this case, because of disadvantage only, it misses you and tries to hit the mirror image one, the illusion one. So you see it come down, and yeah, it's real good. It's real good for you that it missed you because the damage would have been real bad. So it is. That one would have been 27 bludgeoning damage. So you see this angry fist come down really hard. That is its turn, and now it is going to be D's turn.
Oh crap. Okay. So D is going to, D's a rogue now. So D is going to, I'm within, and I'm sorry, I couldn't get into Roll20.
That's fine.
But D is within range, right?
What are you trying to do? A range attack or a close-up attack?
Close-up attack.
I'll say for sake of time, yeah, you're close. I'll say you're within range. Yeah.
Okay, step.
I'll say D had time to run up to it. Okay, yeah. But I will say, okay, if you did run up to it, if you're, I'll say that on this turn you were able to, because there is something that happens if you start within 10 feet of it, which hasn't happened yet. So, okay, you run up and you stab it. Go ahead and roll. Are you using your dagger or your sword?
Dagger, baby.
Okay, roll your dagger attack, and you also get sneak attack damage on it because it is engaged with your friend, which is
all right. So dagger to hit 21.
Okay, that hits.
And then my damage, come on, baby, 6.
Okay, but you also do get to roll 5d6s to do. If you want to make it easier on you, you can just do it in I can just do it for you to make it to save time.
Yeah, just do it for me. 5d6s. Wow.
Okay,
Yes,
so you do,
exact rules.
yeah. So you do 16 more damage. I did it in the roll 20.
Thank you. Wow. Okay.
Cool, great. Okay, that is. Are you gonna do anything else on your turn?
I think I get a no. Well, I'm looking at my bonus action.
Now you can do what you can attack again, or you can do Lysandros. You wouldn't get as much damage. Lysandros has the ability to disengage, so you.
And
could
you
do
should
that
too. As a rogue at 10th level.
Yeah. Yes.
You had it as Lydia, so you should have it as so you'll move back from it a little bit. Okay, so I'll say you move like 15 feet back, so that way it's like
okay.
You saw it slamming its fist down, and I think you would know to be like, nope, thank you, no, thank you for that.
No, I'm good. Yeah.
Good luck with all that. Good. Okay, great.
That's terrible.
The next turn is the Minotaurs. I think the Minotaurs are booking it. They are like, oh, this is above our pay grade. Like also. Not only because of the giant smoke monster, but because they just saw Callie mess up that giant smoke monster pretty rough already. So they are starting to run, but as they're running, then the guards that are there are like, hey, wait, you weren't part of the thing. And they're currently fighting guards trying to get out of the arena. And like also there's like audience members who think they're still part of the show, and they're like trying to high five them and stuff. And they're like, so they're the Minotaurs are no longer a threat to y'all, but they haven't gotten away yet. They're just kind of like getting their stuff. And like one's blind, so one of them is like just like going, what's happening? One is like literally slipping on the last bit of grease that's still on the ground and kind of like, oh, what's happening? I don't know. So there's a whole Benny Hill commercial happening or episode happening with the Minotaurs. Now it is Zindar's turn. Zindar, where are you at?
Zindar is gonna get a little closer. 10, 20. I'm more than positive that, yeah. Zindar gets a little closer, reaches down deep into his bag, and yells at Callie. I might be able to help a little bit. Make it a little easier for you if it doesn't. Shrug it off. And I pull out another vial. This vial, it seems to have you know how like oil and water mixing, but it doesn't actually mix. Mm-hmm. So there's two oils in there. Either one could affect them, and he's going to toss that at the creature. They need to make they're probably going to make this, but who knows, right? Who knows? They could fail. They need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, question. Is this a spell you're casting, or is this
It is technically a spell.
Okay, it has advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects, just so you know.
Yeah,
so let me push that there. And it does not get disadvantage on that because that's not something that.
There's no. I mean, it's a giant. I highly doubt this thing would fail.
Yeah, so it got a 30 because it got a natural 20 on its saving throw. So I'm sorry. This is like the labyrinth all over again. We're like, I want it to end, but I keep rolling so well. Yeah, it rolled a 14 and a 30, so the 30 was definitely. So one of them would have been.
The 14 would have been nice. Oh well.
Yeah, I know.
Well, it pelts the giant once more, and it hits the ground, and Zindar goes, I don't think I'm that useful. And he's just going to kind of hang out because I don't have any bonus actions.
Meanwhile, Callie is like bleeding and like, I think I can use some help.
I'm trying to help, but I can't do anything.
Lysandros yells.
That's me.
When he hears you say, I don't think I'm that useful, Lysandros yells, I've never been useful a day in my life, but it's never stopped me.
We are getting close to time, but I will say, like, if people have to bounce, totally fine. We'll play it out. But yeah.
As a matter of fact, I think Zindar goes, let me see if I can just like find something for this. I believe in you. He's just gonna come back here.
Okay.
And begin to rummage through his stuff because it's almost improbable that he's going to be able to help, especially because this thing has magic resistance. And everything he does is magical. So yeah, that's him. But I do have to go.
Yeah, I definitely you're on a later time zone. You're also very busy, so I appreciate you hanging out with us. Everyone's saying goodnight to Omega. Omega, before you go, you want to let us know anything else you want to promote for us before you go?
My socials. Oh, I'm raising money for Trans Empowerment Project tomorrow.
Hell
at 9 a.m.
Yay.
Pacific, 11 Central. Come to my channel. I'll play playing games and stuff. But that's it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
All right. Bye.
Everyone check out Omega's channel tomorrow. I'm sure they'll tweet about it and everything like that too. So check that out. Thank you so much. Have a great night. You were fun.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. So Zindar dies. No. So we yeah, that's Zindar's turn, and then I might puppet Zindar at some point if we need to, but I don't think we will. Marfine, and back to you. It's your turn now. So you are visible. The Minotaurs have run away. There's a giant smoke mixborn death monster giant in the middle of the room.
Okay. Well, one, I have to go after the turn. I have work tomorrow morning.
Okay, fair. All right.
Let me see. Why did my game close? Oh no.
Well, here's what we can do since you have to go.
Yeah.
Since the Minotaurs ran, and you know there was guards going after them, we can have Marfine chase after the Minotaurs, and we can pick up where that goes next time.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, for some reason, my D20 is like gone or roll 20.
That's fine. Totally fine. Yeah, that sounds like a good move.
Okay.
I don't want to make you stay late. I know it's late for you as well. So, all right.
Okay.
Joy, have a good night. Joy, do you want to give us where we can find you and things like that?
Curious Joy everywhere on Twitch, and the only thing I'm doing in the future is Extra Life in November.
Yay! All right. All right. Well, thank you. Have a great night. Get some
Have
rest.
a good night, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. All right. So yeah, we'll take Marifine out of the lineup. And all right, great. Cool. Because it is we are at time, but I think we can finish this fight tonight and not go too much longer. So I'd rather try to do that. But if you all need a balance, let me know. All right, Callie, it is now your turn. Before you do your action, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Well, if I don't wanna.
Well, I mean, you could fail it.
I won't make it. All right, but before you tell me yes or no, I got a 17, but I do have Bardic Inspiration still, right?
You do.
I'm gonna use it, and that's a D10.
Okay. Go ahead and roll it, but I will say that your DC was an 18, so if you rolled it on a 17, you have now passed the DC, so you're good. And this is good for you because you are now immune to this effect for the next 24 hours. So you no longer have to do this. Basically, any creature that starts to turn within 10 feet of the giant must succeed on DC 18 Constitution saving throw, or it takes 10 necrotic damage or a 3d6. And can't regain hit points till start of its next turn. So that's great for you because you would have taken damage and wouldn't be able to heal until your next turn. And I think that Callie especially will be excited that she didn't get this effect because its name is the Aura of Erebos. So yeah.
Not today.
Not today, Erebos. Hey, what do we say to the God of Death?
Not today or
Perfect.
ever.
All right, so now you can take your turn.
Great. So Callie is pissed. She's taken a lot of damage. So she is just gonna. Oh yeah, and she has her full suite of actions now.
She does.
So yeah, she is first things first. She is gonna just swing at it. She's gonna pick up her axe, roar, and 23 hit.
Yeah, it does.
All right, she's just gonna let it go, let her rip. We're gonna add on 2 more d12 to that. So 34 before the 2d12.
So the first attack is 3d12, right? You rolled that?
It's 3d12 and then the +2 bonus.
Yeah, so 5d12 total.
Yes. So I rolled 34 before the additional 2. So
I'll mark that off. So minus 34. Great.
And then I got 12 for the bonus.
Okay. This thing is at death's door. Like, you are messing it up. You are definitely seeing the power of the axe there. Like, you are definitely getting what it's doing.
Great. This axe is pretty good. The labyrinth wasn't half bad, I'd say. Dying multiple times over and over again might have been worth it.
I could have died a few more times, actually.
Why are you guys dying all of the time?
It's a long story.
We don't plan on making a habit of it. We kind of got it out of our system.
But if you ever want to try it, I mean, the Minotaur Labyrinth, it's
Oh, I'm so good, but I'm glad that y'all had a chance.
This labyrinth has everything. There's spike pits, there's a hydra, there's magic swords, Sorry. Okay, Callie, what else you got?
I try to attack again. Does 17 hit?
It
does,
does.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
All right. She looks at it one more time with like a smug look on her face because she knows what death looks like. She's seen it. She's lived with it. She's worked for it. And she lets it rip. 1, 2. So she does a total of 14 plus 19 is a lot. It's like
Hey, Callie.
33.
Callie,
Yeah.
describe to me how you destroy the Doomwake giant.
Yes, she takes the battle axe, and she just brings it down for her first attack, slashes right across the chest, and then her favorite thing to do is bring it right back through the other way just to get it even deeper. And then as she does that, she presses into it and snarls in its face, and then rips it back out the other side.
Oh, I love that. That is great. That is some fun stuff right there. All right. Yeah. So I want to see if I can. I was gonna try to take off that weight, but I'll do that later. Yeah. So you do that, and like, yeah, as you do, it's like you see like daylight pushing through it as you're ripping it apart, and those like figures and body, like those like bodies that are within its own body that make it up, start to like fade away again, and they start to like you start to see like bits of starlight through them, like you would when you see Nyx-born creatures, and they like float back upwards, and they like go back towards Nyx, and you have destroyed this Archon, and you have seen firsthand the full power of the primordial weapons that you have been hunting down, and now you understand in your hand why this is so powerful and why it matters so much. And it gets quiet for a moment, and then you hear the audience start to cheer. Ah, gross. Ah, gross. Ah, gross. Ah, gross. Ah, gross. And there suddenly the whole place is cheering, excited, and they have this strange, misguided civic pride. And that's when that is when the regent Taranika stands up, and she points to her champions, which is your party, and she raises her thumbs up in the air, and the place goes wild. And then we cut to later. You've all been given a long rest essentially, because you've been given like healers and things that are there. You're doing okay. You are in the throne room, and D is with you, and Jay and his husband are there, and Saren, and Taranika says, "You have done our city a great service. People will be singing the praises of the glory of Akros again for a very long time. We are in your debt." And they give you a bunch of gold. They give you essentially all the spell components that Zindar was looking for earlier. So those are there. And D, you have something.
Oh, so I missed y'all so much. This was so good.
Hey, we missed you too.
I missed you. So so a long time ago, Perforos gave me something. Perforos gave me a sword. It's like the best thing I've ever had, and it's the favorite thing that I carry on me. And I'm not fighting anymore. Oh God. Sorry, cutting onions. I'm not fighting anymore. So what I want to do is I want to give y'all my sword. And Dee takes the sword off of her back, and kneels and presents it to Lysandros and Kalista and the whole party. Please take my sword. Please take my sword. Please take my sword. I love you, and I miss you, and you earned it, and I want you to have my sword.
Tell you what, let's say we're borrowing it. And Lysandros will take the sword.
Uh-huh.
We'll handle this whole god thing, and we'll bring it back. And it can be the best sword you've ever had again.
So Lysandros,
Wait,
Jordan,
and then Lysandros goes, and in case in case you want a marker to remember that, and he grabs another one of the coins and flips her an IOU coin.
D grabs it, and it's like, I'm not gonna look at it because I know it's not anything. But I miss you, and I love you, and I cannot wait to hear about the adventures that you go on, as you continue to. Oh God, I'm gonna cry. And then Dee just gets up and then runs over to Jay, and is like, "Oh no, I don't like you." And then runs over to Jay's husband, and it's like, "Oh no, I don't like you either." And then just runs out of the room.
Oh, that's fun. All right. The item. Jordan, you may now add it to your inventory, and then we can decide later who actually is going to keep it in the group. But there is an item that I created today that is called the Sword of the Forge. And it is essentially, mechanically, it's basically the same as Perforos's hammer, but as a short sword instead of as a hammer. And so the benefits that you will get from the Sword of the Forge are this magic sword grants a +3 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with it. When you hit with an attack using it, the target takes an extra 3d10 of fire damage. And then also, when you are holding the sword, you have resistance to fire damage and you are immune to exhaustion. Additionally, you have proficiency with Smith's tools and have advantage on all ability checks using Smith's tools if you want to use them for any reason. While the sword is on your person, you can use an action to cast one of the following spells: animate objects, heat metal, fabricate, magic weapon, mending, or shatter. Once you use a sword to cast a spell, the spell can't be cast again from till the next dusk. Yeah, that's what you have. So you have now obtained your second of your primordial weapons.
All right.
And that is where we will end tonight. Anybody who wants to, in character, say any more goodbyes to Dee can do that before we wrap up completely.
Yeah, Kelly will definitely be like, we'll find Dee later on. Just be like, Dee, I'm glad you're doing well. Even if it's in a place you hate. She raises an eyebrow.
Yeah, this place super sucks, but at least here I get to do I get to be in the arena, and that matters. And hey, you killed the crap out of a bunch of people. You're so good at killing. I forgot how good you are at killing.
Yeah, I'm really, really good at that.
God, you're good at that.
But if you ever need a training buddy again, don't ever forget to holler. We'll be around.
And Dee throws her arms around Callie.
Oh, come here.
This was so good. Also, ow, you're very strong.
Sorry.
You're so strong. You're so strong.
Don't drive them too crazy, okay?
I'll try not to. Thank you.
All right. It's good seeing you.
Good seeing you.
I love it so much. I miss you all. All right. Does anybody else have any more goodbyes they would like to make, or are we ready to wrap up tonight?
Lysandros says one final line. He's just like, "Nice digs. See why you left, though." And then he just leaves.
Everything here sucks.
Oh, she loves it. All right. All right. That is where we're going to end tonight. Why don't we go around the horn and say where everybody can find you? Let's start with our guests. Let's start with Danielle. Danielle, where can the folks find your lovely self?
Oh, geez. Everywhere. Find me on Twitter at Danielle Radford, on Instagram at Danielle_Radford. yeah, those are basically it. And then if I have anything, I will post those there. But this was really fun. I missed y'all so much.
It was great to have you back. Thank you for doing
It's nice
this.
having you back for a bit.
And thanks for toughing out the tech difficulties. And
I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. All right, Jordan, where can the folks find you?
Hi, everybody. My name is Jordan Pridgeon. You can find me on Twitter at Jordan Pigeon. And you can also check me out on some of the older shows here on the channel. So go back on the YouTube channel and, go watch some of those. Wildcards has 3 campaigns, which are all very fun and very cool. And I highly recommend watching them.
All right. Ashlyn, where can we find you?
Hey everyone, Ashlyn Rose. You can find me on Twitter as Ashlyn Rose. Instagram, I'm still rar. It's Ashlyn. If you want to check out my voiceover work, you can go to ashlynrose.com. And I have some older shows on here as well. There's the Eberron campaign called Dark Lanterns, and of course Broken Pact with some lovely folks on this channel and on this game right now. And yeah.
All right, and you can find me on Twitter at Riley J. Silverman and on Instagram at Riley Silverman. And tomorrow's Thursday, which means it's the release day. We have a week of Fort Saga, the Vampire the Masquerade script and audio drama that I am a cast member on. I'll be doing a talkback episode of that next Tuesday on our friend Ryan Omega's live action roleplay channel, where we're talking about a little behind the scenes about the show, which is going to be very fun. Also, this Friday is Heartbeats, the improvised medical drama that I do at Ripley Improv. So you can check that out on twitch.tv/Ripley Improv at 6 p.m. Friday afternoon, Pacific time. And with that out of the way, y'all, we do have the magic draw. Now, I know that Dom had a tech issue earlier. Dom, is that something that you've been able to work out, or is that still... Okay. Okay, so we won't be able to do the draw tonight, but we'll do what we did last season, which is Dom and I will get on a call later this week, and we'll record the draw there, and then I'll pull that into next week's episode once we have that draw. So, but we want to, again, thank you, Vampire54, for the very generous tip that you gave us. We really appreciate it. We also, of course, appreciate everybody who subbed, anybody who rated, anybody who's joined the show.
Yes,
yeah,
thank you, Jake.
As well. Thank you, Jake, so much. I was going to get to it. And we also want to thank any listeners of our podcast, watching the video on demand, folks, and on YouTube. Remind you once again to please comment, like, and subscribe. And with that out of the way, I think that's everything. Is there anything else that I'm forgetting that we need to address or acknowledge besides our love for all of you? Well, it's been a pleasure. We will see you. We have what, 3 episodes left of the show.
Wow.
So we're getting through this season, and we'll see where all these wild characters end up. And yeah, hey y'all, have a good night and be safe.
Bye.
Bye.